No, this says this hangout is on air is live.
Live!
Live on a Monday morning, 9/22/14 with the Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate Trading number 24. Good morning, people, everybody out there, and welcome to Your Future with Property Noodlers right there. Go sign up, send me an email, join our team, start making some money, okay? Morning, John.
Good morning, Paul. It's a beautiful Monday morning, the last full week of September. And, I was thinking about this morning that because I get up on Mondays and I am absolutely enthusiastic because it's the start of a brand new week. I'm excited to see what lies ahead, what house, where am I going today to find my next deal, when's my next paycheck coming. There's a closing going on this week, and it's just an excellent morning. I love Mondays. And I was actually thinking that I wanted to start off this call with a message to everybody that if you wake up on Monday morning and you're dreading the day, your life sucks, you're doing something you hate, and you need to figure out real quick how to change that. Because if you're not feeling enthusiastic about getting out of bed on a Monday and the first thought in your head is, man, I can't wait till Friday, you're not living life. Your life sucks. I got to be quite honest with you. You've got to figure out something you can do so that when you're getting up on a Monday morning, you're excited about your week. I'll let Paul kind of take over here, and hope I wasn't too rude or blunt with that statement, but it's the truth. And why don't you kind of kick us off into what we're going to get into today?
No, exactly. I mean, that's the truth, though. If you live for Friday so you can get a paycheck and get wasted all weekend and spend all your money that you worked so hard all week long to, get put together so you can pay your bills and put food on the table and gas in the car and beer in your belly so that you can get up on Monday morning hating life so you can just go back and do it again, like John says, you're not living life. You don't have a life. You're doing nothing. You're surviving drudgery. And in fact, you are enslaved by the system, which is why you are doing nothing more than surviving drudgery. So, I'm not going to harp on that, but hey, if that's what you're in, if that's where you're at, if that's what you're feeling at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, you need to wake up and get a clue and figure something else out. And if real estate wholesaling doesn't spark your interest, hey, that's fine. If this video right here, you see this, and real estate wholesaling isn't the thing for you, but what we just said lights a fire under your tuchus and you get off your butt and off the couch and go start a new life, we've done our job. I mean, you're not going to join our team, that's fine. Join somebody's team. Get a new life. uh, because, I mean, seriously, I mean, if you're not waking up, I mean, at 8 o'clock in the morning, happy and having a good time with smiles on your face like John and I are right now, I mean, why go on, I won't go there. I'm not going to put any ideas into somebody's head about that. But anyway, you know where I was heading with that. But seriously, I mean, there's a lot of things out there. There's plenty of ways to make money in this world right now. There's more opportunity available right now today than at any other time in history, and virtually anyone, I mean, can make money outside of their work. Now, obviously, you're not going to go quit your job like I did and put your house in foreclosure like I did, and finally 3 years later be, hey, on top of it. But there's plenty of things that you can do in your spare time if you're willing to give up a few things, like a weekend in front of the TV with a case of beer and a football game, and a bag of Cheetos. So I mean, if you're willing to give up a few of those things, your after work time, et cetera, and so on, you can find something out there that you can throw just a little bit of time towards, start making some extra money, and start changing your life. So with that, yeah, Monday morning, time to get back into warrior mode, as we were talking about earlier. It's where you have to be if you want to get yourself from what we were just talking about to being happy and excited for Monday mornings, as to be in warrior mode. And I say get back into warrior mode. Really, I mean just kind of crank it back up a notch, because when when you're uh, when you're building a new life, when you're changing your life around, when you're doing all these things, you never get out of warrior mode. And if you want to achieve something, you're always in warrior mode, because that's the only way that you're ever going to get anywhere. So maybe you have a little bit of downtime on Sunday where like I said, you ratchet it down a little bit and you focus upon yourself, opposed to getting out there and kicking tail out in the world. But yeah, that's where we are on Monday morning.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with all of that, Paul. Being that it's a Monday morning and we've started off here talking about being enthusiastic about what you're doing in life, and waking up on a Monday and being excited because it's a fresh week. And if you're not feeling that way, maybe you're doing something, well, you're obviously doing something wrong. Something's in your life isn't congruent with who you are. And I believe, whether you're aware of it or not, everybody has a definite chief aim or a purpose in their life. One of the ways to get into warrior mode, remain in warrior mode, feel enthusiastic, and get your mindset right is to define what your definite chief aim is. That's very important to getting in the right mindset, is that sort of where your end point is. And I don't want to make it sound like you live life to always wait to get somewhere else. I mean, life is about the journey, but the journey has a purpose. So I think one of the messages I like to just get out there this morning, being it's Monday and we're talking about warrior mode and enthusiasm and feeling good and congruent, and that things in your life make sense and that you're in a good place. Part of getting there is understanding what your definite chief aim and purpose is in life. And we could kind of take the conversation this morning in that direction and relate this to wholesaling quite a bit. Is, all right, you're watching Paul and I now, we've done several of these, and you're saying to yourself, yeah, I want to get into wholesaling. I want to flip real estate. And as many people are under the impression that it takes money to make money. And I just want to bring up the point that it absolutely does not take money to make money. What it takes to make money is the power of your mind. In all honesty, that's what everything starts off between your ears. What happens in your mind, creativity and mind power. That's what it takes to make money, not money. And the reason I bring that up is because one of the key pieces of my definite chief aim in life is that I want financial freedom. I feel that most people that are going to be that Paul and I are going to be resonating with, and the people that are watching these and sending us emails and joining our team and thinking about getting into wholesale real estate, that's probably one of the reasons you want to do this, is financial freedom. And one of the biggest hang-ups to financial freedom when people start out realizing that this is their definite chief aim is that they're like, well, I have no money, so how am I going to make money? Well, Paul and I are here to tell you that it doesn't take money to make money. It takes mind power, which consists of creativity and understanding different concepts that we've been talking about the last week, the 7 steps to financial freedom. It's a clear understanding of what those 7 steps are, using the power of your mind, creativity, and having some initiative to take action. That is how you make money. And I'm going to throw it back to Paul, and I'd like to hear kind of his take on where I'm going with this.
Well, yeah, and all of those things really wrap around the subject where we left off on Friday, which was leverage, because utilizing leverage is how you can put all of those pieces that you just laid up on the table there together to achieve your chief aim, your ultimate purpose. And the funny thing is, you talk about a chief aim. Most people don't even really get that concept. I mean, a chief aim or a definite major purpose, most people in this country, in the world probably, in fact, define themselves by their job. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, what are you all about? Oh, well, I'm a fireman. Oh, well, what are you all about? Oh, well, I'm an accountant. Oh, well, what are you all? It's the first thing out of people's mouths is what they do for a living, right? And as a human being, we really should be about something on a little bit of a deeper level. You know what I mean? We should have something um, more defined as a chief aim, as a definite major purpose, as something that we want to achieve in life. That as I forget who says it, Buckminster Fuller, I think, that said that our purpose here is to enhance the lives of others and for the next generation. I forget exactly how it goes, but enhance the lives of this generation and future generations. So being an accountant, or being a nurse, or being a cashier, or being a whatever it is that you define yourself as, which is really just your job, your work, really is not in any way, shape, or form um, creating benefit for this generation or future generations. So your definite major purpose is something a little bit on a deeper level in what you want to do for mankind, what you want to perpetuate, basically what you want your legacy to be, what people are going to remember you as, or what's going to carry forth after you're gone. And so the whole idea of you having a chief aim, and then talking about how you wrap that back around into real estate. Well, of course, you have to make money in this world. Having a job is going to be part of your life, unless you get to the point where you are building a business and creating a business and owning a business, and to the point where you have a business system to where you get your time back by having a system that is generating money without you having to materially participate in that system, within that business system, that business that you own. And so then you now have the freedom to apply your time towards your chief aim. So real estate wholesaling, along with any other kind of a business, et cetera, is a vehicle. It's a vehicle for you to own your life, to get your time back. Because most what you're doing right now with a job is you are trading your time for money, which you can then in turn exchange for goods and services that allow you to survive the week, so that you can go back on Monday again and trade your time for more money, so that you can then complete the vicious cycle over and over and over again. Like John said, mind power is what the first thing you need is to have the mind power and the creativity to, first of all, understand and be aware that you want to get out of that rut, find something that is a vehicle that resonates with you that you can do this with, and then have the mind power to put it in your head that you're going to actually get out there and make it happen. And so taking that from that position right there, that's where a lot of people get stopped, because they see that they have a problem, they understand what it's going to take to fix the problem, yet they find the obstacles which will prevent them from solving the problem, and that is usually boils down to money. But it can also be a lot of other things. But this is the point in time where you'll utilize leverage to its maximum potential that can really help you go from where you are now to where you want to be, and bridge that gap between, I know what I want, but I have no idea how to get there. Well, there's plenty of people out there that do. There's plenty of people out there that have money. There's plenty of people out there, plenty of technologies and ideas and all sorts of things that you can leverage that can help you get to where you want to go. And that also applies to real estate wholesaling. And as we talked about on Friday, we're offering for you an opportunity to leverage us, to leverage our knowledge, to leverage our system to help you bridge that gap. So back to you, John.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Paul. You said a lot of great things in there. I want to get into leverage a little bit here and my take on that. But before I do, I just want to back up to a few things that Paul mentioned. we talk. Let's just be honest about why we're in real estate wholesaling. Because I want to make money, and I want to make a crap load of money. Now, a lot of people, and this was a hang up for me at one point until I actually consciously changed the definition of my character, I guess you could say, is that a lot of people think, well, that, you know, your whole reason for doing this is to make money. That's kind of shallow. And I say absolutely wanting to make money and wanting to make a lot of money is in no way, shape, or form a shallow goal. Because this is one of the concepts in the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. He talks about one of the wealth files, and that's a book that we brought up on last week's call, is that money is extremely important in the areas in which it is important. And of course, the inverse is there's areas of life where money isn't important. But money is a very important thing to have in your life. It is a tool. And as Paul mentioned, Buckminster Fuller, the exact quote, and Paul had the concept dead on, is the purpose of our lives is to add value to this generation and those that follow. Now, money is important in the areas in which it's important, and it's unimportant in the areas where it's unimportant. But you want to add value to your life, you want to add value to your children's lives, and to your children's children's lives, and your children's 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 life, then you need to actually think outside of yourself and think intergenerational and consider what your legacy is, as Paul was talking about, a legacy that you're going to leave behind. And if you have money, it is true that you can have a way more positive impact on your own life and people's lives around you. Money is important. You need money to feed yourself. You need money to clothe yourself. You need money to go on vacations and do luxurious things. You need money to survive, quite honestly. And you want, life is never easy. It's not about, life isn't about ease and comfort. But the more money you have, the more of an impact you can make. If you're someone who has a political cause or a social cause that you're fighting for, you want to get involved in politics or local community, you have charities or causes that you believe in, or a family member comes to you for help because they're broke, they lost their job, their car broke down, they can't afford to get it fixed so they can get to the job they currently have, or they can't afford the bus, whatever it may be. If you have money, you are in a position where you can do a lot more good than if you're broke. So if you have the mentality of, I'm just going to get by and I don't care about money and all I need to do is just get by and survive, that's a very selfish way to live. And I just kind of wanted to back up and talk about that because it's important to have the mindset that money is an important, valuable tool and not to look down on money. Not talking about the love of money, but maybe the love of things you can do with that money, which is helping other people and using it to add value to people's lives. And how does that work? And what does that mean to leverage? Well, if you have money, you can use the money you have as leverage to donate to charities or to hire people to free up your time, all that. So it plays into leverage. Now to get back into leverage, and I see we're at our 20-minute mark, so I'll get my last couple thoughts out here pretty quick before I turn it back to Paul about leverage, is that this is such an important concept to understand. It's the magical quotient. It's the magical formula, so to speak, because through the use of leverage, you can accomplish a lot. And as we talked about earlier, is you got to get out of the mindset that it takes money to make money. Because if you understand, that creativity and mind power can make you money, one of the things you've got to understand is some of the tools that you can pull that creativity and that mind power out of your brain and manifest it in the real world. And one of those ways is leverage. Because there's several things you can leverage. I'm going to go back to my notes and bring up exactly what I said on Friday, is that things that can be leveraged is time can be leveraged. Money can be leveraged. People can be leveraged. People's knowledge, other people's money, other people's time, other people's contacts. Your contacts can be leveraged. Their contacts can be leveraged. Products, media, the internet, technology, business systems, business partners. And we're in the age of communication here where if you've got a great idea, all you need to do is know the right person to take your idea and help you manifest it. And how do you do that? Through leverage. And I'm going to toss it back to Paul here.
Right, through leverage. And so how do you, so the concept of leverage, how does somebody leverage somebody else, or how does somebody leverage something else? How do you actually use leverage? How do you get leverage in place? How do you leverage something? Well, especially when you're dealing with other people, whether it be for their time or their talents or whatever the case might be, the way to activate leverage, the way to get people interested in applying leverage to your situation is by understanding, first of all, that everybody is, unfortunately, in this planet, very selfish, and this world is all about them. As we like to say, they are tuned into radio station WIIFM, which is what's in it for me, and they are only looking out for the benefits to them. So if you're asking somebody to do something for you, hey, will you loan me $25,000 so I can get started doing this, blah blah blah, whatever, they're gonna be like, why should I? But if you can approach that person saying, hey, you're doing this and I want to do this, if we can do this together, I can provide this for you. Could you provide $25,000 towards this for me? Now you've supplied benefit to them. And once you supply benefit to the opposite party, then you have enticement and you have excitement and you have the potential for somebody to be interested in applying the leverage that you need to whatever it is that your chief aim, your goal is that you're trying to accomplish. So that's the key factor in leverage, is to make sure that you're not just out there looking for somebody to help you. Okay? Nobody wants to help you. Nobody gives a crap about you. That's the bottom line right there. You could walk off the end of the bridge and they wouldn't care. All right? Maybe they'll show up at your funeral, they'll cry a couple tears. Next week they'll be right back at work and you'll be gone. End of story. All right? So if you are looking for leverage, if you're looking for ways to leverage people and things, whatever it is, you've always got to be in the position of offering benefit to the other side so that they are enticed to want to work with you. And that's all I got to say about leverage. So go ahead and finish this up, Johnny.
All right. Well, I'm just going to add a quick little reiteration of what Paul said, and to realize that everybody out there, present company included, whether you're conscious of it or not, or they are conscious of it or not, are all tuned into that radio station, WIIFM. And people walk through life basically filtering out all that comes into their life to only pull out the things that are coming in that have a benefit to them. Hence, they're tuned into the radio station. What's in it for me? And if that isn't the frequency that's transmitted, they're not going to receive it. The good thing to do in this world and in this life is to consciously change your frequency to maybe what's in it for them and become a WIIFT kind of a person. Not only being able to tune yourself into the frequency of offering people products and services and opportunities that resonate with them and presented to them in a way that shows them what is the benefit to them so they want what you have, to create, what that'll do in turn is make you less of a selfish person. And one of the things that's very true in this world, I would even say it's probably one of the laws of the universe, is that you get in what you get out what you put in. And if you're in a habit of changing your mindset to creating win-win situations and being able to present yourselves to other people in a manner that demonstrates the benefit to them for doing business with you or being friends with you and having a relationship with you, well, that is just going to take you so much further in life than if you can actually be a person that doesn't walk around with their antennas only tuned into the frequency of what's in it for you. But understand that that's an important frequency to tap into, but it's the understanding of that. And, I guess you can sum this up by saying, one of the ways to be successful in life is to begin to educate yourself on human nature and understanding, especially if you're in sales, marketing, promotions, advertising, wholesale real estate, as we said from day one on these calls, is more about sales and marketing than it is about real estate. Well, you're going to want to understand human nature and the radio station that people are tuned into. Because when we're negotiating with sellers or we're offering a property out to our buyers, we've got to demonstrate what it is in it for them in order for that message to resonate them into wanting to work with us. So that's my final thought. And unless Paul wants to add something, I will lead us in our Napoleon Hill prayer that we do and wrap this thing up. Anything you want to add, Paul?
Just want to say that by joining Property Noodlers, you don't have to go figure all that stuff out, and you don't have to figure out how to create your USP that presents the message, what's in it for them, because we've already done all that for you. All you got to do is hop on board and start sending out our message and scoring some deals and making some money and figure it out from there. So propertynoodlers at gmail.com. Send us a message. Get on board. Take us out, John.
Yeah, propertynoodlers at gmail.com. And if you want to, one of the things, I hope this doesn't scare you off, but if it does, maybe you're not right for this team anyway, we're probably going to have you read 2 books right when you get started. Number 1 would be Think and Grow Rich. I mean, majority of our concepts come straight from Napoleon Hill, life-changing stuff. And you want to get tuned into the frequency of WIIFM, what's in it for me, and understand how to speak to people in that manner. We're probably going to have you read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, because that entire book is about how to win friends and influence people, pretty much. The title says it all, and the way you do that is that you offer yourself to them so they can see the benefit for them in working with you. And again,
that's just the first 2 of many books.
Yeah, first 2 of many books. Yeah, and again, send us an email at propertynoodlers at gmail.com. If you're watching this video, leave a comment or a question, or let us know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section at the bottom of the video, and I'll lead us out of here with our Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, through the power and the ability to control and direct my own mind to whatever means I may desire." It doesn't take money to make money, people. It takes controlling and directing your mind to whatever means you desire. So I desire millions of dollars, so my mind's going to make it happen for me. So go out, make it a great week, and we'll see you all back here on Wednesday.